afternoon, everybody. My name is Majoris, and welcome back to another video. I know it's been a while. I know the frequency of my videos now have dropped a lot, but that's because I'm doing a lot of work on some stuff behind the scenes, mostly a lot of music stuff and other stuff that I'm planning on for you guys in the future. A lot of stuff that I really can't wait to reveal to you guys, but I want to wait until I get everything in a good place. Anyway, I got some more free time today. Found the time, and I really miss doing. I actually really want to do these videos, not exactly full time, but a lot, like frequently, because I really love doing them. I really miss doing them, and you guys also really seem to love these types of topics and these types of videos as well. I love doing them. I also got a new microphone. I don't know if y'all can see it, but it's a silver Blue Yeti microphone. The other one I had, it was something in it that started messing up, and filters and everything no longer sounded right, and I couldn't fix it. So I'm gonna have to get another mic stand and a pop filter and stuff like that. But for now, if I sound different or if I sound weird, that's why. Enough of me rambling. We are back today with some more It's Complicated. I got 3 different videos, and you know how it is. When something needs to be addressed, we gonna address it. But I got some Minute Maid watermelon juice and some Hot Pockets that I warmed up for this. So I'm probably not gonna do a whole lot of talking. Let's see what we got going on here.
If prostitution was legal, do you think we'd have a better society?
Yes.
Why?
Because you ain't got to be worried about the police coming after you if you want to buy some pussy.
I actually think it would solve a lot of society's problems. I know that sounds absolutely insane, but I do think it would be solving a lot of society's problems. It would be solving so much sex trafficking, male trafficking, child trafficking, like so much things would actually be solved if this actually got legalized.
Why is porn legal but prostitution isn't?
Yeah, that's a good question.
I mean, what's the difference between being paid for sex and being paid for sex in front of a camera?
Some way.
Just the camera.
If prostitution was legal, what do you think would happen to OnlyFans?
It would go down the drain.
Oh, yeah.
We wouldn't want to pay to see it if we could go get the real thing.
Do you believe that lonely, sexless men are more likely to be violent, and if so, why?
Yes, because they got a lot of pressure built up.
Them the most calmest ones. They sitting in the crib, playing their video games, beating their meat, eating their Cheetos, you know, just kicking it, being fat, cool guys at the crib, you know. I'm just saying, I can't judge nobody, you feel me? Because, hey, I probably was that at one time, you know?
Yeah.
So if prostitution was cheap and accessible, do you think there would be less sexual violence?
Yes.
Probably.
If so, would you be in support of making that possible despite the fact that it objectifies
No,
women?
I'm not doing it.
No.
Yeah.
Why?
Because it's immoral and unethical.
Don't you want to live in a safer society?
Yeah. But I wouldn't do it, but I mean, everybody can do their own thing, whatever.
I'm not saying you have to.
Yeah, I'm not making that compromise.
Hoeflation is a term which describes the increase in price men have to pay for lower value women. Men have more competition than ever, women have more options than ever. In essence, dating has now become a luxury commodity, and the only option is for men to step their game up. Why should men be expected to bring more to the table than they ever have in order to please women who bring less to the table than they ever have?
We're not doing it.
Because
Yeah,
that's
I'm
just
not
how
doing
it
it.
is. I don't know. Men are supposed to be providers. If they have to bring more to the table, it's just because that's the society we live in today. Things cost more nowadays.
And
That's
how's that
true.
working out for us?
Barely.
Why should men be expected to bring more to the table than they ever have in order to please women who bring less to the table than they ever have?
We shouldn't have to. I think women need to start lowering their standards and men need to start raising their standards.
Yeah.
Or we're just going to be sitting there. It's going to be a horrible society.
100%.
If most men...
I raised my standards. Yeah, buddy.
If legalizing
Facts.
prostitution would be a game changer, why is it never talked about on any of these podcasts?
We talking about it now.
Yeah,
It's
they are.
like everybody like it, but ain't nobody gonna talk about it.
Because they look at prostitutes as disgusting, horrible women, and they think of us as the very bare minimum. If you're a prostitute, you don't have nothing to offer.
Yeah, I'm not sure. Maybe people just scared.
Well, here we go. See, when it comes to women who are prostitutes and OnlyFans girls and people who got, you know, pictures and videos of them doing stuff on the internet and they get paid for it, you know, all that stuff. I prefer a woman that don't do that, of course, but I don't really shame the women that do it because a lot of them like it, to be honest. But here's the thing about it though. I actually had a conversation about this with my mom. This is what she said. She said, you can be a hoe, you can be a prostitute, you can be a girl on OnlyFans, be a porn star, you can do whatever. I don't care. I'm not gonna stop you. Do what you want. Just don't complain. When your life don't turns out the way you want it to, When you get to a certain age, you have no husband, no marriage, no career, no children, no family, no legacy, no lineage, no none of that. And you start looking around and then you start asking those questions, you know, all those questions that you hear women ask all the time. Where did all the good men go? Don't do that. Do what you want to do, but when you get to that point in life, because you're going to reach that point. Everybody reaches that point. When you start questioning your life decisions and you start looking back and reflecting on the decisions that you made, when you get to that point, if you're blessed to live long enough and you get to that point and you start asking those questions, I don't want to hear no complaining. Because you chose the lifestyle. You chose to be a independent, bad bitch, hot girl summer, I don't need no man type shit. You did that when you were in your 20s and 30s and 40s. Now you hit your 50s, 60s, 70s, and you ain't got nothing. Now you want to complain, talk about where all the good men gone. No. No, we're not doing that.
Why is my body, my choice acceptable when it comes to abortion, but not when it comes to prostitution, the draft, or vaccine mandates?
Uh-oh.
Control, man. Just control. You know, I'm not like a conspiracy theorist or anything, but you know, like there's a deeper purpose behind things. You know, they try to get us to fall in line. You know, at least to some extent. If it's going to line their pockets, and if it's not lining their agenda and it's not lining their pockets, then they're not going to.
Capitalism.
Wouldn't relationships be built on love rather than sex and manipulation?
Yes, relationships should be built on love and respect. 100%.
Definitely respect.
It revolves around manipulation. We read books. Men read books. Neil Strauss. You know, all these books about game, in the sense that we're trying to gain game and manipulate women to have sex, when in reality we don't even want the love. We just want the sex. But it results in women falling in love because we're giving them the illusion of love.
Wouldn't men be more fulfilled and less angry and violent?
Yeah, actually, it would limit so much emotional.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. You know, the outsiders. You know, the kids in school, that the kids that's being made fun of, the kids that's shooting up schools and doing all this other stuff. If those kids was getting the love that they needed, not necessarily from a woman, from sex, but if they got some type of love, they wouldn't do it. First off, when it comes to that specifically, you should be getting that love from your family, from your mother, your father, whoever's in your household, somebody. If you're not getting it from them already, there's a problem. If you get it from somewhere else, that's where addictions come in. When you start doing drugs, start having sex, start doing all this other stuff, and you get addicted to it just to fill that void that you never had growing up, that is unhealthy. I don't think anybody should be looking for anything to be filling them up. You feel what I'm saying? Like off the rip, out the womb, you're supposed to be getting that. When you don't get it, you have issues. But I will agree, like, if the average man was getting like a lot of coochie out here, oh, he would be a lot less stressed, less emotionally wound up. You feel what I'm saying? He would be real chill, and he would be happy, optimistic, be looking forward to every day. Psychologically, in pretty much all fields of science and therapy, or you know, studies, stuff like that. Everybody, just common sense. Yeah, it's true. If like the average man was getting sex, we'd be chilling. If I was getting sex, I'd be chilling. I'd be looking forward to coming home every day after work, after running errands and stuff. Like, yes, sir. And I would be looking forward to every day.
What are your thoughts on the expression, every man pays for sex?
I agree.
You going on a date and you have to spend your money for her to like you more. Some people don't do that. I got guys that don't do nothing for no females. Nothing. You hear me? And they still giving that cat up.
Well, we all pay for sex. And if it's not money, it's investment. Or you know what it is? It's me working as hard as I can to be able to provide for
time, energy.
You know, just to be able to be the best person I can be, so she can keep around, you know, stay with me, or be able to like not run away with my kids.
Right.
And be like, hey, this is a good man, I can stay with him. And if it's not, you know, paying for it, like, you know, with actual like, hey, me swiping a card, it's me working in the gym, it's me working 2 jobs, it's me working 3 jobs, it's me working my ass off just so I can, you know, maintain a family.
Every woman pays for sex in a way too. You could that expression could go both ways. Whether it's not money, it could not be money, but you know, I mean, at the end of the day, when they go to bed and at night and they slept with 10 men this week, you know, it's like it's a lot more degrading for them. They probably feel that a lot more than I would if I banged 10 chicks this week. That's just being honest, you know.
That's facts. Yeah, that's true. Because if women, I think a whole bunch of sex and being a hoe and all that other stuff, it doesn't really damage the men that much. It's damaging the women. A man having sex with 10 women, that's almost like an accomplishment. Or not even having sex, just being able to have sex with 10 women, that's an accomplishment because he had to work his ass off to get to that point. But for women, it's so easy to get 10 men to have sex with her. She don't have to do nothing. She just sit there. Even if you an ugly woman, or if you a woman who think you unattractive, oh, there's like a few thousand people on this earth that would have sex with you off the rip. You feel me? If you got a coochie, you win it. Ladies, listen to me. I don't care what your body look like, what if you got a coochie, somebody wants you. I think having all that sex and doing all that other stuff, doing all these provocative activities out here, I think it's a lot more spiritually damaging to women.
Why is it often said that prostitution is the world's oldest profession?
Because women been exchanging sex for goods since the beginning of time.
Yeah.
Because it is actually, it used to be legalized. It used to be okay. It's actually, I'm pretty sure, okay in some other states and countries.
Yeah. It is.
I'm not big in the Bible, but I'm not very religious. But the Bible is what I grew up on, and they told me that was the first job ever created.
It was.
Because men have a need. And when they have a need, they'll pay for it.
Why is my body, my choice acceptable when it comes to abortion, but not when it comes to prostitution, the draft, or vaccine mandates?
Because
they don't want to have
society has deemed women in control, and it seems like they're making these rules up as they go.
Every time a woman want to complain about all that stuff and be like, your body, your choice, you chose this is your choice. Now I'm big on accountability. I like women that I be around, not even that I be around, just women in general that I encounter. Like, I try to break it to them, like, no, take accountability for the stuff you did. You got no man at home, you got multiple kids, your life is not how you want it. That is not entirely the world's fault.
Who is more likely to lie about how long they've gone without sex, men or women?
I would say men.
Men.
For sure.
Probably men.
I feel like men would pretend like it's shorter. Okay, I feel like women would want to make it seem like they'd gone for longer without sex.
Don't men lie about getting more and women lie about getting less?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Why?
Yeah.
I think slut shaming. Because there's a stigma around women having sex.
Because women don't want to seem like whores.
Yeah, I don't want to seem like a whore.
Yeah, men do lie about getting more because they want to seem like they're just cool. Like, yeah, I get bitches.
Absolutely.
Why are women who sleep around seen as sluts while men who sleep around are seen as studs?
It's a very good question. A very good question.
It is the amount of work that's put in.
I guess it, like, going back in time, that might be how it was. But we're here for 2023 and we're here for equality, like we said.
Could it be because it's easier for a woman to be a slut?
Yes.
Ooh.
Yes.
I don't know what that means.
A slag.
Yeah, no, we do know what it means.
I know what that means.
What's the difference between shaming a woman for being a slut and shaming a man for being an incel? In other words, why are women shamed for having too much sex while men are shamed for not getting any sex?
Because
again,
they
the amount of work
women
that's put in.
to just be just as pristine as possible. They don't want a woman that's ran through. They don't want a woman that's had so much experience.
Because a man with not having sex means that shows he has less value. But if a woman having too much sex, that shows that she has less value.
Yeah.
Don't women have a choice to be a slut, but a man doesn't have a choice to be an incel?
That's true.
Yeah, that's true.
Well, is incel more like men who become violent when they don't have sex? And sluts generally aren't violent. So that's the big difference. Yeah, that's good. That's good.
Don't women have a choice to be a slut, but a man doesn't have a choice to be an incel?
Yeah, because,
I think you can choose. If we're going down the violence route, you can definitely choose to be violent. And you should always choose not to.
Who are the bigger slut shamers, men or women?
Damn, I'm gonna say women.
Women.
Men.
Yeah. Nah,
Yes.
women shame women.
Although women are guilty of it too. And we should really support each other, I feel. It's giving internalized misogyny.
What is the difference between the women men want to sleep with and the type men want relationships with?
One's a slut and one's like wifey, you know?
Do men want virgins or sluts?
I want a virgin.
Virgins, I feel like.
Yeah.
No, they want sluts.
No, but they want virgins to keep as a wife, but they want a slut to, you know.
What's the difference
say that's
between
true,
a
yeah.
slut and a hoe?
There is. I don't think there's a difference.
A slut and a hoe, man. Hey, I got two definitions for that. I'm just give you one though. You know what I'm saying? A slut. I'll say a slut is just a broad that just fucking to be fucking. But a hoe, you know what I'm saying? She fucking for benefits.
Don't hoes get paid?
Yeah, hoes get paid.
Okay. Yeah.
A hoe does it for money, and a slut just
goes with everyone for
it's a free hoe.
Fun. It's a free hoe.
Yeah, but in my opinion, it's the same thing. That's the thing. You getting something out of it either way. If you a slut or a hoe, it doesn't matter. If you a slut, you smashing just because you like the feeling of it. That's what you're receiving. Is you're receiving getting smashed. Whereas a hoe, you're receiving benefits, but you're still receiving. You're still smashing for receiving. At the core, it's the same thing. Though the reasons are different, that's the same thing. It doesn't matter what you're doing it for. You're smashing to receiving.
Where is the line between a man feeling entitled to a woman's body versus a woman feeling obligated to put out?
The line for it is if a man approaches me and says, I think you should f me because I'll buy you this new Gucci purse, that's the line. If a woman walks up on you and says, oh, I'm drunk and I'm just throwing my body at you, that's the line. We should both be mutually sober and agree to having this interaction.
Do women feel like they need to provide sex in order to keep a man, and if so, why?
Some women do, and they feel that way because they've never been shown real love by a man.
Ladies, if a guy puts you in a situation where you really is like, hey, if you don't put out, it's over. Like, listen, you really need to call a hotline number. Like, don't listen to your friends, don't listen to music, don't listen to nothing.
Yeah.
Listen to the hotline. That's it.
Why are men shamed for not being able to get sex while also shamed for trying to get sex?
That is,
I don't know. We can't do shit.
Women, they hate to admit when a man has finesse. When a man can finesse his way to getting some, she don't want to admit that she participated in that. And then when he doesn't get none, I don't think women really shame man for not getting none. It's really men that shame man for not getting none. Because man, we very competitive. So we trying to put another man down to make ourselves look better.
I'll say, me personally, do I get women, like, do I get coochie? Not really. But do I get girls that see me as attractive, just genuinely attractive, compliment me and all that stuff? Yeah, I get that. Like, not every day, but like maybe a couple times a week. I do get it. I like your glasses, I like your hair, I like your shoes, I like your turtleneck. Do I get coochie? No, I don't think I do. There's probably maybe one or two girls that be out here that off-site, they probably just want to give it up. I don't know. And me personally, I don't feel like I'm shamed. I won't allow myself to be shamed for not getting it. You feel me? When it comes to all these societal norms, like if somebody was to shame me for not getting no coochie, I'd be like, what the hell is wrong with you? Why am I being shamed because girls don't like me? Like what's up with this? Like, why is everybody making fun of me because I don't got no coochie? What's going on right now? Like, why? I be thinking about this all the time, bruh. You can never be just a man, just a good man with morals, like a man of God with morals and principles and standards. You gotta either like women and be a dog, or you don't like women, you're gay. You gotta be either a creep or you gotta be gay. You can't be in the middle. You can't just be a man of God. You feel what I'm saying? I consider myself a man of God because I actually consider myself to have pretty good self-control. And I'm absolutely not gay. I don't show sexual attraction to men. And when I really think about it, I'm rare. Like a man like me with the mentality and the intelligence at my age is very rare. I'm 20. People think that I'm 22, 23, 24. And when I tell them, no, I'm 20, they're like, what? Like you act so mature. That's why, because everybody else that's my age, they act a certain way. I consider myself on a higher level than them. Like I'm so mature. I'm so much mature than everybody else that's my age. And when I tell people that, they're like, oh my God, like, wow. Like, I wouldn't allow nobody to shame me for being a man of God. No, my parents raised me right. I was raised in the church. I know what's right and wrong. You not finna shame me because I know what's good for me and I know what's wrong. Nah, we not finna do that. God forbid you shame me for worshiping him. No, sirski. I don't care if you're a man or a woman, but especially if you're a woman and you do that, get the hell away from me. I'm not doing it.
Well, how can we be simultaneously coaching men on how to seduce women while also shaming women for having high body counts?
You can't. It's like they counsel each other. Like, how you gonna try to teach men to seduce a woman, and then when she gets seduced, you shame her for it? Like,
yeah,
you know, it has to be a balance. I think that they kind of cancel each other out.
So do men want purity or do men want sex?
I prefer purity.
I feel like we want both, man. Like,
well,
you know,
so who's more likely to not know what they want, men or women?
Women for sure.
Honestly, men don't know what they want because if they have a slut, they have someone more experienced. And if they have a virgin, they're going to be prideful because they're the only one a woman has slept with.
And when a man sleeps with a virgin, they believe that that woman belongs to them. No one else can touch them because they took that from them. They believe the woman is now their property and that no one else has access to them.
What is the difference between the women men want?
Hold up. I think a lot of the women that he interviews, whenever they be talking, they be speaking out of a lot of resentment. It's due to experience or how they were raised or some of the maybe trauma even. That's some traumatic experiences they've been through in life. For as far as, say again, me, when it comes to do I want purity or do I want sex, I mean, at the same time, you gotta ask women that as well. Do you want purity or do you want sex? And if you ask them, they'll say probably both. I absolutely don't want excessive sex. If I were like that, I would probably be tired and exhausted. Like, again? Oh my god. I think not constant sex, but frequent sex is healthy. A healthy sexual relationship is healthy. You feel what I'm saying? Not having sex all the time, but every once in a while is healthy. It's absolutely healthy. What they were saying, talking about when a man has sex with a virgin, like if I had sex with a virgin, like she belongs to me. More than likely, women who are virgins that do give themselves up to a dude, they don't want to be with nobody else but them. You feel what I'm saying? So like, if you really, really think about it, if you sleep with somebody that has experience, they got experience from other people. And this is how I think about it. Like, if I'm sleeping with a woman, I'm also sleeping with everybody else that she slept with. You gotta think of it in terms like that. And I think of things long term. Long term, I do not want somebody with experience. And the reason why is because you've been around. I don't want nobody who's been around because that's immoral. It's against my morals. It's against my nobility, my standards, my principles. I'm a man of God. I don't want to marry somebody who's been around. I'm not doing it. Again, you could do whatever you want. Do not complain. That's what I want. I want to make decisions that when I get to a certain part in life, ain't no complaining. Like, why is my life like this? Why is she like this? Why is my household like this? My marriage is falling apart. My finances, my children, I don't want to get to that point where I start questioning stuff and reflecting on the bad decisions that I made, because it's like a snowball effect. When you young and you ain't doing and you ain't got a whole bunch going on, you can do the stuff. It don't seem that much. When you get to farther in life, you got big issues, big snowball. You feel what I'm saying? I don't even want nothing snowballing at all. You feel what I'm saying? So I don't want to make no decisions that later in life will mess me up, because I don't want to be doing that as young as I am and then getting my 30, 40, 50s and my life ain't how I want it to be, and then I get to complaining. I don't want to hear no complaining. And that goes for everybody, man, women, I don't care. You need to make decisions that when you get to a good position in life, ain't no complaints. You feel what I'm saying? Because you can't get to a certain point in life and then complain, why is my life like this? And doing all this extra work trying to fix your life because of the bad decisions you made. I would not be one of those people. I will not be making these decisions as young as I am and asking the question later in life, why is my life like this? I'm not doing it. No.
Well, a lot of women assume that men just want hookups, and if that's true, why would so many men care about a woman's body count?
I don't know if a man would care about a woman's body count for a hookup. It's this kind of question I get asked like when I'm dating or like in a relationship. But if I was hooking up with someone for like a one night stand or something casual, I'm not so sure I'd be asked. I don't think I ever have been asked.
So do you think it depends on what stage the man's life is in?
Yeah, for sure. 100%.
Between 20 and 30 years old, they want just to have fun. But after it, then they just realize that probably they need to settle down and they just need to be loved.
Do you think men care more about...
I think a lot of people make that decision way too late.
So do men want purity or do men want sex?
Both.
If men want purity, wouldn't that mean men have to wait until marriage? And haven't we established men shouldn't be getting married under the current laws?
No. I don't think marriage equals purity.
If you mean by pure, you mean straight up.
I think purity can be established before marriage, yeah.
Who is more delusional? A woman seeking a 1% man that's loyal, or a man seeking a perfect 10 woman with zero body count?
Both, they're both equally as delusional.
I'm gonna have to go with the woman.
Probably.
Because there's some women that you can find that are bad with a zero body count. They're out there that are of legal age. That are out there.
Of legal age, you got to throw that in there.
Can men be improved by shaming them?
Absolutely. Men can be improved by shaming it because we actually take shame in a different way than women do. So if you shame us, more likely we're going to respond with accepting what our problem is and building and working on that.
Can women be improved by shaming them?
From my experience...
Probably not.
Women do not do well with shame.
Yep.
So it will probably be better to just not shame women, find a easier way to tell women where they're wrong, and where they're right.
Yeah, that's what I do. I don't shame women on the stuff that they do, but you are going to take accountability for the decisions you made.
Why is it when we talk about women's issues, it's considered the war on women, but when we talk about men's issues, it's considered the war on masculinity?
Yeah, because America's bullshit and men deserve rights too. I'm not a woman. I'm not a woman who's like women rights. I will be glad to cook and clean and stay home.
I guess because women feel like they've been victimized for a long time, so they're making up for lost time. I'm not sure exactly how to put that.
Why don't we consider it a war on men any more than we consider it a war on femininity?
Because if we're looking back at the women feel they've been victimized over a long period of time, if they were the victim, then that would make the men the predator, more or less.
Because we have this thing with men that we're not allowed to acknowledge that we're being victimized, that we're being attacked. Only women are allowed to be seen as victims.
Yeah.
Can someone...
Oh, men. Oh, no. Oh, men can be victims too. I think men are victimized just as much as women are. I will absolutely agree. Like, just a woman, just an average normal woman in the street is at danger of a lot of stuff. Being mugged, being kidnapped, being robbed, being outright killed. But I think a man, especially me, like a black man on the street, we are at risk of a lot of stuff as well. People could just do a drive-by on me just because I look like somebody who they've been trying to roll up on for a long time. Even the police thinking, oh, that's him, even though it ain't me. You feel what I'm saying? Like a mistaken identity type thing. Men got just as much say when it comes to their issues as women do. The only reason why people think that women have much more of that right is because as men, we're taught to just suck it up and not talk about it. But that's unhealthy and that's absolutely immoral. It's wrong. It's trauma and it happened. You can't keep this stuff bottled up. It is proven that trauma doesn't go well for a lot of people. People express their trauma in thousands of different ways, but it all comes from the same core. Something bad happened. That's just me, but I think when it comes to, we need to stop this men's rights, women's rights. How about human rights? Just rights, period. Our existence isn't one like superior to the other. You feel what I'm saying? Like, I hate that. I hate all this competition and superiority and inferiority. It's dumb. This is the type of stuff that I really want to talk about with people, but they're not ready for it.
I'm not sure how you would define masculinity anymore. And I've seen couples all the time where you can tell that the woman is the masculine. I mean, straight couples where, you can tell the woman is actually absolutely the masculine in the couple.
Facts.
So I don't know that it's not defined as black and white as it used to be for sure.
Why is there so much confusion about what a woman is, but everyone seems to know what a real man is?
That's a damn good question.
Yeah.
I mean, penis, vagina, that's all I gotta say.
That's all there is to
Why can a woman
say.
be anything she wants while a man is still clearly defined?
Uh-oh.
Penis, vagina. I don't know. I'm done with it. Yeah.
I don't know. Women are just different. They just have to be different. Women have so many different personalities. Men are just like confirmed. Like they're very simplistic. Women are very difficult.
Because the pressure to perform is always on men. So there's always a set expectation. There's always a set bar of what you have to do.
Why can a woman be anything she wants while a man is still clearly defined?
Because we live in a gynocentric
We don't got
world,
that privilege.
And if a man had that same perspective that you could do anything you want, then it would kind of be hard for men to be controlled.
But at the end of the day, as men, we set our boundaries, we establish ourselves as such, and we're going to always be men regardless. True men knew that.
Yeah.
Regardless, and a real woman
Yeah.
will recognize and respect it either way.
That's the thing I'll be trying to tell people when, look, say eventually we do reach a worldwide matriarchy where like all of a sudden it's women in power. You feel what I'm saying? It doesn't matter because the role of the man isn't going to change. Like, it doesn't matter who's in charge. We're still going to be doing the exact same thing. Maybe with women in charge, we're probably going to be pushed to do it a lot more. But at the end of the day, the job of men, like the role of men in the world, in the workplace, in the household, in the family, it won't change. It does not matter if we purge the world of patriarchy and it becomes a matriarchy. It doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter because ain't nothing for us gonna change.
How would you define mansplaining?
I would define it as a man explaining to a woman about something that they think they have no or little previous knowledge of.
When a man starts to push a solution rather than listening to the nature of the problem, a lot of times a woman just wants to express her frustration man's got to solve it, and that can be a pain. Advice when it's not wanted or when it's forced.
How is that different than women explaining what a real man is?
Because women explaining what a real man is them shaming you to conform to what they want you to do and who they want you to be as a man.
Women explaining what a real man is sounds like nonsense. So I would say they have something in common. They're both nonsensical.
Who is the bigger simp, a male feminist or a chivalrous white knight who believes all women are sacred?
The feminist.
Why?
Both of them are just doing it to try to get in the person's pants. But the feminist...
The one that thinks all women are sacred, because the worst thing you could do is pedestalize women and think that a woman is better than you, because you gotta devalue yourself when you do that.
Yeah, that's facts.
Isn't chivalry pushed by religious conservatives?
Yes.
Yeah.
But chivalry is dead.
I think that feminists can be chivalrous. So that that part I stand on. You know what I'm saying? I mean, to be chivalrous, I can be chivalrous to a little old lady and give her my seat on the bus, right? Same thing to define it, I believe.
Don't women define masculinity based on what benefits them?
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So how are the traditional women any better than the feminist women?
Well, they all are beautiful and deserve to be protected, but at the same time, as men, we have to establish our boundaries, respect our own boundaries, respect women, protect women, and not deal with bullshit.
What is the difference between feminist women shaming men for being toxically masculine versus traditional women shaming men for not being masculine enough?
There's really no difference. You know, men can't really do anything to win. It's like no matter what you do, you're always going to take an L.
You know, it's crazy because
that's what it
women,
feels like.
The modern women that are shaming men for being masculine, most of them are masculine. So it doesn't make any sense at all. It really doesn't.
So how are the traditional women any better than the feminist women?
They're not. They're both shaming men into conforming to what they think is more beneficial to them.
Don't women define masculinity based on what
It
benefits
should be
them?
about our benefit,
Everybody
not
defines
just yours.
everything in the world on what benefits them.
Exactly. Yeah. Everybody does it.
That's everybody trying to see the best for themselves. You know what I'm
Exactly.
saying? That's human nature, I think.
Yeah.
So just because you're anti-feminist, does that necessarily mean you're pro-men?
No, not at all.
No.
I think both sides have an equal amount of women that hate men.
So why isn't misandry the problem rather than masculinity?
Misandry is a huge problem that no one ever talks about. All we talk about is misogyny, but it should definitely be talked about more.
What's the difference between feminists labeling anything they don't like as misogyny versus conservatives labeling anything they don't like as immorality?
There is no difference. It's always shaming what you don't want and shaming what doesn't fit your narrative. It's always shame, shame, shame.
It's ridiculous for someone to impose their religious morality on someone, use it to shame them. It just doesn't make any sense for a man to do that, a religious person to do that. It doesn't make any sense for a woman.
If you were truly religious, you wouldn't be shaming or judging nobody.
I mean, you know, I think that the masculine women are trying to be something that maybe they don't necessarily fit into the role, so they're trying to change the role. And the traditional women are having a hard time because their role is going away. You know what I'm saying? It's like evaporating. Everything is very fluid right now. Everything is changing.
Aren't they both?
Woo, boy! Hey, hold up. Boy, she hit that nail on the head, boy. Now that I think about it, that's actually a perfect way to put it. That a lot of people who want to take on a role, they can't do it, so they try to change the role for everybody else. I feel like that's what it's becoming. That's actually a great way of explaining it. Oh my God.
Who shames male sexuality more? Feminists for labeling men as sexual predators, or religious conservatives for shaming sex outside marriage?
I think the ones that shame sex outside of marriage.
Yeah, religious, yeah.
For sure. Because they look at it as anybody that's not married is kind of committing a sin. And
if men want purity, wouldn't that mean men have to wait until marriage? And haven't we established men shouldn't be getting married under the current laws?
I do believe that if men want purity, it does mean waiting until marriage. But I am not up to date on the current laws.
I think, me personally, I would, like I said, purity, I think it is possible that purity can be established before marriage, especially if you've been together for a long time, or if you've known this person for a long time. That's what I want. I want to meet a girl and be around her for a long time, for at least maybe 2-3 years, before we consider companionship. You feel what I'm saying? Because, like I said, I think purity can be established before I put a ring on somebody. I think I can establish this girl is the one.
I don't believe that anybody should get married without having sex first, because if the sex is no good, the marriage won't last, period.
I mean, I don't think you have
That's
to wait
true.
to marriage to find a pure woman, But I definitely think the laws need to change because they don't benefit us at all. Why would any man want to get married under the current laws?
Facts.
Why are conservatives still pushing for traditional gender roles in marriage without first changing the laws?
Well, marriage isn't set up for men to be beneficiaries if it ends. And regardless, in our society, women have always been the protected class.
Because even though the laws don't benefit us, there's a lot of profit in divorce. So it kind of benefits, you know, a certain system for the laws to still stay in place, as messed up as that sounds.
They're just pushing for what they know. That's all. It's like they're stuck in a rut, and that's where they're going to stay. They don't want to expand their thought process.
If being a masculine man means accepting the burden of others, why would anyone want to be a man by that definition?
You wouldn't, but you know the pressure is no matter what the circumstances, no matter the situation, you as a man just have to take it and perform anyways.
Yeah.
Take it like a man?
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
A real man is not going to look at things as a burden. It's just certain things that you go through in life to get to where you want to get to, and sometimes you got to help other people out. It's not a burden. Everything is a lesson and and something to learn from.
I think people miss strong men. We look at the chaotic world we're in, the riots, people taking advantage and stealing, just going into a store. Doesn't the world want someone to stand up and say, knock this shit off? I'm not going to stand here and watch this anymore. It's wrong. I was put on this earth for a reason. I am going to fight it when I see it. Yeah. That's what a man is. You want to call that toxic, you can. I don't.
Because that's what the world needs.
I mean, the whole thing of like becoming high value, I think that's the main thing, right? Where it's kind of like you're shamed to become high value, and if you're not high value, you're low value, where there should be a middle ground. Men that are still at a good place in their life, but still trying to become better each day.
Right. We can't be high value out the womb. Come on now. Give us some time to create our value. Leave me alone.
Why is it that in the age of independent women, a man's value is often determined by what he provides?
Well, it's kind of hypocritical, right? Because these independent women could do everything by themselves, but yet they still want a man to provide. So there's hypocrisy there.
But like I said, that's changing some. I mean, there are some women that are out there making the money now, and the guy's staying home. So then it's by what the woman, by what the masculine role provides. How's that? Which doesn't have to be male or female.
Why are we still promoting traditionalism when most women don't want to be traditional?
Yeah. Most women don't want to be traditional.
I think it's tradition that's carried the world this far.
Do women want to be independent while also being provided for?
Of course they do.
Yeah.
And if so, who's more delusional in their wants?
Women.
Definitely.
Isn't that having your cake and eating it too?
Yeah, of course it is.
If being a masculine man means accepting the burden of others, why would anyone want to be a man by that definition?
Because that's what we do. We go out there, we chop shit
every
up,
day.
we blow shit up, and we handle business.
How does being masculine help men who are screwed over by the family court system?
It doesn't. You could be the most masculine person in the world. It doesn't stop you from getting screwed over by the laws, from getting screwed over from divorce. It doesn't stop anything.
They always favor the woman unless you have resounding evidence that that woman was really, 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 really terrible. And even sometimes still that doesn't matter. So at the end of the day, you just got to have receipts.
How does being masculine help men who are falsely accused?
Contingency. It doesn't. The laws have to change. Masculinity isn't an answer to like the laws in the system. The laws have to change.
If you are honorable and noble, which are traits that are associated with masculinity as well, hopefully, prayerfully, inshallah, all those things will shine through.
Whether a man is masculine or not, doesn't he still deserve equal justice?
Absolutely, always.
So why is there so much focus about masculinity rather than men's rights?
Yeah, the masculinity agenda is pushed heavily, and we never focus on the laws, the actual problem that need to be changed and addressed.
Yep.
Because at the end of the day, men have always made the laws. Men have always had the rights. Women couldn't vote. Women couldn't participate in certain things for a while. And after a while, those scales have to balance, and that's the time of reckoning that we are currently facing.
What's the difference between feminist women shaming men for being men and traditional women shaming men for not being real men?
There is no difference. It's shame men, shame men, shame men, bring them down and make them weak and able to be controlled.
Yeah.
If you're trying to make a man be what he's not, that's objectionable. If you're trying to make him tougher, you're trying to make him weaker. It's just let him be what he is, you know?
Wouldn't that equate modern misandry to feminism and traditional misandry to chivalry?
That's a very good point. Yes, absolutely.
Don't both place women at a status above men?
Yeah.
Yep, women are always up here and men are always down here.
Wouldn't that equate modern misandry to feminism and traditional misandry to chivalry?
Yeah.
Traditional misgender. God, this is like being on Jeopardy. Okay.
Man, it's what it is. That's just what we got to deal with. Until society changes, or until the rules and the laws change and stuff like that, we just got to deal with it. As men, that's all we ever do, is just deal with it. It is what it is. Hey, it's just the mentality that we have. It's not going to change. And it sucks. We get no sympathy for working with it and just dealing with it and do what it do. And I think we should. We should at least get some acknowledgement of how hard being a man is out here. You feel what I'm saying? Women will never understand. It's hard to explain, but I can only say this from the perspective of a man. Like, this is just what it is. That's it for today's video. I'm glad we got back. I'm glad that us as a race, we're talking about this stuff finally, because this is the stuff that we really need to be talking about. You feel what I'm saying? But other than that, that is all the time I have today. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. Make sure to leave a like, comment, and subscribe. And I'm gonna see y'all in the next one. Peace out.